guys, how you doing? I am feeling a little bit sleepy. It's April, it's spring, what can you do? But it's the afternoon, it's past 4, so I don't want to drink coffee again today. So I'm drinking water instead. Sad. So today I just wanted to be a little bit accountable for myself using my YouTube channel and talk about my April TBR. I don't usually do this. I am a moody reader and I know what my moods are, and the books that I want to read just appear to me because I know if I am in the mood to read this or that book, even though I don't know anything about the book, but it's just a feeling. So I'm doing this just because I know that these books that I'm going to be talking about for a little bit today, I am in the mood maybe to read them in April. So I'm gonna talk about 4 books. Let's start. So in April I've already read Letter to My Mother by George Simenon. Is a tiny little book, and you know Simenon, he is a detective genre writer, but I said already before in some other videos, I love him so much because I don't really like this genre, but I love him so much because of his brilliant writing and the depth of his stories. It's not just a mystery, it's not just a detective story, it's not just about the investigations and all of that, it's not just about the juiciness of a mystery that I love, but not in a cheap way, but in the Simenon way, because his way is literary. I really love the meaning behind the personality of his characters and the emotions and the human side of his characters. So I really love his works. Simenon, Letter to My Mother, is just a letter to his mother who is dying, and he is just in the real life, so it's his own experience, and it's just deep and emotional and just shows that the emotions he puts in his work are real, really belongs to him as a man. He, in a few pages, tried to understand his mother more, her life, and just their complicated and very sad, I think, relationship. So I would say just that, because it's a very tiny book and I don't want to spoil anything. It's just a very bittersweet reading. The second book that I've already started, but I just can't finish it, is My Name is Red. Of course, I have all the Italian covers, by Orhan Pamuk. This book is good, is really intricate and fascinating to me because it's a very far away culture to me, at the same time very fascinating and interesting to learn about. It is set in Turkey and it talks about mystery as well. So someone has been killed and they are trying to discover who is the murderer, and there are some suspects, there is some love stories, and he is a great writer. He also won the Nobel Prize in 2006, but I just can't get through the book, but I really want to finish it by the end of April. It's an historic novel because it is set in the Ottoman Emperor, and the most fascinating part to my mind so far is the view on art that the author, there are miniature artists, in fact, and so many other characters. It is a choral novel and it is complex. And I also really like the fact that the plot in itself blends very well with the philosophical and the deeper conversations about life and humans' emotions. And there's love, there's betrayal, there's war, there's everything you need. But it's really great, but I can't finish it. I can't get through it in a fast-paced manner. So as I told you in a previous video, when I showed you the unread books in my library, because I am trying to read as much as I can while I am in my hometown of the books that are here, there was some German authors, and I don't particularly interested in German literature. I am not familiar with that, I should say, but I really want to read at least the ones that I own and I have in my library. And I've talked about The Sorrows of Young Werther in a previous video, and I started today. So also this one is in my April TBR. I read the introduction as well of the book that gave me a big spoiler, and I was so sad about it. The Sorrows of Young Werther is by Goethe, a big German author, so I already knew some of the things in The Sorrows of Young Werther, not these big spoilers. I will continue to read, even though I know this big thing. I was really fascinated by the first few pages, and I am always attracted by the human side of characters, their feelings, their behaviors, their manners, but if they are written in a quote-unquote lighter way, not superficial but lighter, enjoyable, because that's what reading also is. It's not just serious all the time, and it's not just boring all the time, so we can have deeper conversation but enjoyable as well. So that's the first feeling that I have with this book. If you want some other details about the book, I've already talked a little bit more in another video, so go check that out. But basically, from my understanding, it is a dramatic love and tragic life experiences linked to that love and the emotions and feelings that come from the experience of love in human lives. I think, I don't know, maybe I can do a little update on this book when I finish it. My Problem Child by Albert Hoffmann. He is a Swiss chemist that tried for the first time LSD after having synthesized it. First of all, I love this Italian cover, is so fun to me. Also, this book I've already shown in the unread books in my library video. That video made me recall some books that I own and that I forgot to have it, and also I found myself more ready now to read some of them. So in this April TBR, there are some of those books that I've showed you last time. I also read that this book talks about experience with LSD, but all the philosophical insights to the role of psychedelics in human consciousness and their potential therapeutic uses. So I am interested in reading about drugs, not because I'm into drugs, but because I like reading about it and just learn about this stuff. But every time I do it, I have to read some other stuff and then come back to it, because sometimes there's a bug, because sometimes it's pretty hard and not so light and colorful stuff to digest. So I'm definitely not into drugs in that way. I enjoy just reading about them. So I think I am gonna read it. Because I am a really moody reader, these are my maybe April TBR, but I am pretty attracted to these books. I think I am going to read them in April. If not, I will update you. I hope you are happy spring. It is my favorite season, and I am thrilled to see you in the next one. Bye guys. I'm gonna have a coffee now. No, I'm joking.